This Leela, however, did not pass unnoticed. Some curious people peered through the fences during the day because although her sadhana was performed at night, the mornings found her in exalted state, which made her seem aloof and unapproachable. The erstwhile well-beloved girl of the neighborhood began to be shunned by her friends. They felt scared of her, thinking she had become possessed of spirits. The educated among them thought that she was suffering from some kind of hysteria. Sri Ma, for her part, welcomed the sudden quietude. It was the right thing to happen at that time because a sadhaka needs to be alone. Two friends only stayed the course as it were. One was the servant girl who, noticing that her young mistress was not able to perform the housework in her usual efficient style, did considerably more than her own share of the chores. If she saw Srima lying in a state of samadhi, she would quietly finish whatever needed to be done. The other friend was a dog called Toma. Bholanath had brought him as a puppy. Srima had reared him with her usual loving care for animals. He used to be on guard all the while that she was alone in the house. He would sit or lie near her. He never touched any of the food stuff which Srima had cooked and had not been able to put away or cover properly. Sometimes in the midst of cooking she would be overtaken by a beatific state and roll over on the ground in deep samadhi. Toma kept guard till Bholanath returned from the kuchri. Bholanath, although completely convinced that whatever was happening to Srima was of great spiritual significance and not a travesty of it, occasionally felt some misgivings because he believed in the tradition which said that nothing can be achieved in this transnatural sphere without help from one's guru. Perhaps in response to this perplexity in him, Srima had the khayal for a spiritual initiation which was fulfilled on August 3, 1922. Nothing happened outwardly on this night. Srima, as usual, cooked and served the evening meal to Bholanath, his nephew Asu, and her own cousin Nisikanta, who were staying with them. Earlier that evening, her neighbors had come to invite her to go with them to see the special decorations in the temples as it was night of Rakhi Purnima. She had declined the invitation. Years later, when she related those incidents, the date was calculated from these reminiscences. In 1922, Rakhi Purnima happened to fall on August 3. When her family had retired to rest, she sat in her corner for her daily worship. After some time, she watched her finger draw a mystic design yantra on the floor. She herself became the guru. A bij mantra, a mystic syllable, came from within her. She saw herself write this mantra inside the mystic diagram already drawn in front of her. She now became the Shishya, disciple, and received the mantra as it were from herself as the guru. The unity of Guru, Shishya, and mantra was self-evident, but remained as if in abeyance while she began the jap sadhana of the mantra instead of the names which she had been repeating earlier. Sri Ma has described the importance of initiation in these words. Supposing you wish to attract the attention of a person who is far away from you, you use any words to call out to him like, "Hey, are you there?" He says, you wish to speak to me. My name is such and such. Then you learn how exactly to call out to him. So the Diksha initiation, it is God alone who is the Guru always.